What do you love doing, but hate succeeding in? Reading books. Especially good books for the first time. You're on a journey. Have no idea where the end is. At some point it's over. And you know you'll never experience that book the same way again. There are the very rare books where knowing the end, or key bits of information, make the second or third read just as good. It definitely depends on the book, and how long it's been since I read it last. Like right now I'm rereading The Serpent of Venice by Christopher Moore. Haven't read it in 5 years. Just remembered that it made me laugh out loud, and it's doing so again. Then there are the 2 books that I call my comfort books, which I read in times of stress and have read each a minimum of once a year since I was 16 or so. American Gods and Neverwhere, both by Neil Gaiman. The fact that I know them so well, that they never change, but I still enjoy the stories very much brings me a level of soothing comfort that I can't quite put into words. There is always a moment towards the end of a video game where you have to decide to finish the main mission, beat the final boss, and lose interest. Man. FFVIII. Decided to finish the game before completing everything. I remember it feeling anticlimactic during the credits, because I wished to have the game back, but for some reason beating it took that away. I miss those RPGs. No time these days. I felt that. I really can't get into single player RPGs anymore. I put so many hours into stuff like Baldur's Gate when I was younger, but now, I played Divinity for a day, maybe 2, and it was great. But I just lose interest and or don't have time to really immerse myself in the game anymore. It's sad. Building software that sounds fun to build, or that people would be interested in using. I like making the software, but I don't like providing support for people to use it, which is inevitable if other people are interested in it. I'll tell you, I've seen some game modding communities where there are users just about verbally assaulting modders just because the mod is not working correctly, and sometimes it's not even that the mods don't work. It's just that some of the users are too lazy to learn how to put things in the right folders or adjust a few basic settings, and they blame the modders for making it overly complex because they expect every program to have a launch screen that holds their hand the entire time. This was your chance to expand your knowledge of how your programs worked, but no. Instead you just decided to be gaming Karen. I have asked the creator of mods for support before when I can't get their mod to work. But I always try and ask politely, and if I find a solution to the problem, I post it, especially if other people are having the same problem. There are people out there who create free additional content for the games you love. Why must assholes be mean to them? I don't want to drive modders away. A while ago I made my first ever game mod and posted it to Nexus Mods, and by some freak accident it became popular. I didn't expect that to happen. I just made the mod for fun and as a learning experience. Didn't expect it to actually go anywhere. I wasn't prepared to support the mod or anything as I just dumped it on Nexus Mods and expected it to get drowned out by all the thousands of other mods on the site. Imagine my panic when I wake up the next morning and see a bunch of posts about my mod. People making requests, asking questions, and some complaining that it doesn't work with their other mods. What the hell am I supposed to do about that? I can't control if other mods are gonna be compatible with mine. Do people not understand that? I even tried to link them to a tool that is made to resolve mod conflicts, and I clearly stated on the mod page that this mod modifies file X and file Y and will be incompatible with mods that modify the same files, but the posts just kept coming. Some people even filed bug reports for things that weren't even bugs at all. They just didn't bother to properly read. Some people even wrote things like, I don't like the way this mod works. Could you tweak it so that it works like this instead? I prefer it that way. Like, dude, no. What you see is what you get. If I changed the mod to appease you, I would piss off literally everyone else. I forgot what my point was. I guess I just had to make a rant. Being productive in any aspect of my life. In general, I notice that the more I have my shit together, others, employers, family, orgs I volunteer with, etc., feel like they have license to add more to my plate. I don't work hard just to be given more work. I work so I can eventually relax. I work for a lawyer, and so I like winning court cases. It's good to see your client get a good result from the judge or jury. Most of the cases I work on are family law or divorce cases. I enjoy the work. I like helping people. But no one really wins in those cases. I can't really congratulate someone on the destruction of their marriage. So, while I'm happy to see each case concluded, it's sad because that family is destroyed in the process. Graphic design. I love doing it. But as soon as people find out you do it for a job, they automatically need your help in building their website / making a logo for their idea / editing photos, etc. I won't mind this, but like, maybe pay me for this skill I learned and got a degree in. They always assume it's free for some reason. Playing fighting games. My friends constantly whine at me if I win because you're more experienced, it's not fun. And I'm not good enough to enter tournaments either. I'm in a weird limbo. It's the same with me and my wife. I'm not good enough to play in a tournament, but I'm so far above her it's not funny. I can't lose unless I do so intentionally. My thinking is that it's quite possible for a bad player to get better, but it's hard for a good player to get worse. My son used to routinely beat me at Mario Kart and Smash Brothers. He grew up playing video games against siblings. I did not, but I'm still competitive, so I started playing a ton against the computer after he went to bed. So god I'm satisfying finally whooping his ass. Drinking. I love the taste of alcohol. Beer, whiskey, bourbon, gin, whatever. I love all alcohol, but I hate getting drunk because I act like a clown and spend money impulsively. I do a lot of wood carvings, faces, bodies, animals, smoking pipes and so on. You spend a lot of time doing it just to make it perfect. But when you're done it's like, oh, I'm done. I gotta give you away now. It's like giving away a part of yourself. I feel the same way about knitting. It takes forever. The materials are expensive. And you know the other person isn't going to enjoy it anywhere near as much as you because they are not invested. I love the process of knitting, but I've decided to only knit for myself, my husband and my daughter to save myself time and heartache. I work in visitor management in a care home. My job is to sit in the entrance and make sure no one infected with COVID comes in by measuring temperature and testing for COVID on everyone who tries to enter. If I succeed in keeping COVID out, I probably just sent someone home who hasn't seen their old and sometimes sick loved ones in little months and has waited to get a time slot where they're allowed to visit, only to be then sent home by the asshole at the door because they had a light fever. Dude, don't feel this way. I haven't seen my grandparents in more than a year and I'm happy to not be contributing to the possibility of giving them COVID. I wish everyone else in their lives would follow suit because they both now have COVID and I've been on the verge of a panic attack every day for 2 weeks now. The people may be pissed, but they'd be devastated if their nana or papa died because that little temperature was the beginning of their COVID symptoms. I was late to a mystery book series that my friends really like. As I caught up, I loved telling those friends my theories on what was going to happen. Unfortunately I was often at least partially right and bad things happen to good characters. Smoking weed. I will take a break / be on a break. Be really productive and social. Get mental health on track, then all of a sudden remember how much I love a smoke. I was swithering for a while if I should get a bag because I only really want 1 or 2. I'll cave and buy a bag, but I'm only going to smoke at the weekend. Once I have everything done, then Monday night comes. Come home from work. Housework's done Sunday and partner's made dinner. Great. It's only 6:30 and I have nothing to do. I'll just have 1 joint. I'll smoke it really slowly so it doesn't even really count. Once the bag's finished I'll convince myself I can just get 1 more. That went quickly. Better get 1 more and I'll make it last longer. So the story continues. I'll maybe just continually smoke for about 6 months to a year before going on another break again. I love having a smoke. I succeed at being a stoner, but I totally hate it because I'm just so lazy, antisocial, and frankly I think it makes my depression worse. So I hate being a stoner. My job. I really enjoy what I do. I get great reviews. I could see myself doing this job the rest of my life. Semicolon. Instead, my managers are pushing me to take on bigger projects and take more of a managerial role. I don't want to be a manager. I'm not a people person. And I don't want to manage people. I tried being a manager, but failed. It burned me out before I even got there. Instead, I decided to follow the engineering path at my current company. I love it. I have a great manager who appreciates the work I do and helps me in any way he can. I work on one main project, but consult on a few more, do reviews, teach people, etc. It's fun. Nobody is pressuring me to go into managing. I recommend you find a company like this. Playing video games. When I get too good, I stop enjoying it and playing altogether. I love the challenge, the feel of failing and looking for a different solution. Trying and trying until I succeed. I hate when I succeed without a challenge. I enjoy even games where succeeding is not super hard, but make it feel like you worked for it. I don't like just being too good or having it too easy. I hate that. Being better than everyone else at something. You don't enjoy beating the living hell out of them, but don't enjoy purposefully losing. There is no fun in losing on purpose. I work in it and love technology. I'm doing fairly well, but still learning and moving up. Suddenly everyone in my family, all my aunts/uncles and friends of my parents are calling me every time their internet goes down or they can't print. Lockdown has been a nightmare for me. Edit. I should add that I don't even do desktop support as my job, so half the time I don't know the answer either. Finishing a really good book. You start to notice the number of remaining pages doesn't feel quite as thick as it once was. Come to the realization that in just a few short pages it will all be over, and there is nothing you can do about it. Then it's done. You close the book and look around only to find that everyone is going about their day like you didn't just suffer some emotional trauma at the hands of a paperback. Cross-dressing. I love it. But the pride of successfully gender bending myself is overshadowed by the fact that 1. Most people in my life would not approve, and 2. It's stressful feeling that good in a different gender. One of the most fantastic days of my life was when one of my ex-boyfriends saw a pile of clothes I was giving to Goodwill and asked if he could have that dress. I was like sure I guess. Why though? He went in the bathroom and came out wearing it with his beard and all. I saw him and my jaw dropped. Then he struck a pose and I just about pounced. He didn't know what hit him for the next 3 hours, and I had no idea how much I would like a man in a dress. If you'd have asked me, I would have been like, yeah, probably no. But it was particularly him. Not just any dude. That dude. It just expressed something special and tender and hot about him that was very much him, and I had no idea it was there. It is still one of my fondest and hottest memories to this day. It was amazing. Of course we played more times after that. So don't be afraid, at the right time and with the right person, to let this part of you shine. I did well in tech for a while. It's just an evil industry run by insufferable people. It's the pits. DRM shouldn't exist for ducking Keurig machines. The thought that my work helped usher in surveillance capitalism makes me want to vomit. And there isn't even a real place in STEM for people who don't want to suck up to these shitheads, unless you count non-profit charities. That's not even touching the shit I'm not allowed to say, which let me tell you there's a lot, and it's all horribly dark. Like him slowly transitioning into living in a solar powered cabin in the woods. I can't be around tech anymore, it's too depressing. Playing a video game. I love the game, yet I hate it that I'm one step closer to beating the game. What I mean is, playing the game is fun. Finding secrets, beating bosses, passing stages, etc. But when you beat the game and the entirety of the game, you realize that the game is over. No more playing the game, because you know what is gonna happen. This, people, is what you call despair. My friend actually dropped out of culinary academy because it was making him hate food, and he didn't want to lose his passion for fine dining. So he went into advertising, and has always allotted a big portion of his income to swanky restaurant meals. When he was just starting out and desperately poor, he found the best way to engage in fine dining was as a customer. Eating. favorite activity, but between my lifelong weight issues, an eating disorder, and a laundry list of foods I'm not supposed to eat due to my insides being picker than a vegan at a vegetarian convention, I end up paying for ingesting pretty much anything. If you enjoy watching these videos, make sure to hit the subscribe button and like this video. Thanks.